Welcome back to the Institute for Business Growth and the Sales Accelerator Workshop. We're on Module 4, Lesson 3, and in this lesson we're going to discuss how decisions are made by style. So let's do a very quick review of the 4 styles. We have our drivers. Primary need is to get results. Biggest fear is to be taken advantage of, and they have a strong need to be in control. We have our influencers. Our influencers are direct and they're open versus our drivers who are direct and guarded. But our influencers have a strong need to be recognized, and their biggest fear is to be rejected in public. We have our conscientious, which are guarded and indirect. Their primary need is to be right. Again, their biggest fear is to be wrong. And we have our steady, indirect and open, think of them as they love harmony, safety, security, and stability. Again, just a review, open means they're relationship driven, guarded means they're task and results driven. So for our directors, or our drivers, how do they like to make decisions? They're usually made unilaterally, or they will call for a vote. And what I mean by unilaterally, the director sees something, they decide, they go, and it's not unusual for them to forget to communicate they've made a decision to their team. They like to vote because it's very quick and it's very decisive, keeps conversation and debating to a minimum. It's hard to argue the fairness when you're asked to vote, and closure is quickly and clearly attained. Now, our influencers, the way they make decisions, they like to work out compromises. They like to reduce resentment. They don't like group divisions. They're not big on voting. And the reason they're not big on voting is because how can you have a dialogue and brainstorm about coming up with the best solution if somebody throws a solution on the table and you vote for it? They don't get that interaction that they love so much. Our steadies, they prefer to make decision by consensus, and they want the whole group on the bus in the right seat going the same direction. And their actions will be worked and reworked until almost all are in agreement. The downside for that is you don't typically get the best solution, but you get the solution that most people are going to agree with. And lastly, our analytics, our conscientious, they want rational decisions, and they don't believe a decision will be made as much as the right decision will show itself through facts, logic, and the proper analysis. They like to list pros and cons, and they reach their correct decision through analytics, study, results. If anybody can divorce themselves from the feeling of this is the right decision or this is the wrong decision, it's our conscientious, because they're typically going to look at facts, and the facts will drive their thinking process. Now, don't forget to take the quiz, but your action steps for this module are very simple. In your sales presentation, how do you support the decision-making process of each of the style, if it's necessary? So, for example, if you don't sell to steadies very much, I wouldn't worry too much about their decision-making process. But if you're selling mortgages, for example, to families, then all 4 of those styles are very important because you're going to hit all 4 of them. If you're selling C-suite to C-level, more than likely you're not going to hit a steady. If your sales process does not support the decision-making process of the buyer, what changes do you need to make in your sales process to make it more consistent with the buyer's decision-making process? Again, just a reminder, if you have any questions, bring them to the coaching call. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Our next module is communicating and understanding your value. This particular module is a passion of mine. It took me 10 years to refine this to where it's at now. And there's really 6 questions your prospects want you to answer before they buy. And we're going to talk about those 6 questions, what they mean and how they work.